spans millennia. Legions have risen to test me.
If you kill everyone in the galaxy, you'll be the Emperor of nothing. What's the point of all this?
You discern a fraction of reality. Beyond these stars exist other galaxies, other worlds, other beings. I will experience or ignore them as I wish. I will spend eternity becoming everything: a farmer, an artist, a simple man. When the last living thing in the universe finally dies, I will enjoy peace and wait for the cycle to begin again.
Such words were uttered by one of the most immortal and powerful Sith Lords to ever grace the Star Wars galaxy. Yes, my friends, I am talking about the main antagonist of the Old Republic game, specifically its Echoes of Oblivion counterpart. However, he certainly was prominent in all of the other variations of this game. I am talking about Vitiate, his birth name of Tenebrae. The words you have just heard uttered were talked about to Tenebrae and the hero of Tython during their attack, when the hero of Tython launched an assault on Tenebrae. His life had spanned millennia. Legions have risen to test him. His ascendance is inevitable. A day, a year, a millennium, it matters not to him. He holds the patience of stone and the will of stars. His striving is insignificant. Let your death be the same. The Sith Emperor and the hero of Tython engaged in many conversations. The Sith Emperor Tenebrae is the subject of today's video. We will be covering a brief variation of his life. I would like to implore you to strike down the subscribe button and ascend to the rank of Master on this channel, as we are delving into the old legends. Before we begin, I would like to tell you and alarm you to the fact that later in this channel's history, in a galaxy far, far away, I will recover an ancient holocron that will depict his in-depth life and recover every single bit of information I can have on Darth Vitiate. This is just a brief explanation. If you want to stick around for that, I highly suggest you watch this video and watch that one when it releases. With that quick distraction out of the way, acolytes, let's begin. Tenebrae, known to the old Sith Empire and holocrons and scrolls as the immortal Sith Master Darth Vitiate, his reconstituted Sith Empire as the Sith Emperor, and his eternal empire as the immortal Emperor of Zakul Valkorion, was an ancient dark side entity of vast and nigh unopposed power who manipulated galactic affairs for 1,500 years. Born in 5113 BBY as the illegitimate and unintended son of Sith Lord Dramath, the leader of Medrias and ruler of the planet in the old Sith Empire, Tenebrae carved a devastating and nigh unopposed path of destruction across the planet Medrias, a planet he would one day rule, torturing and massacring thousands by the age of 10, gorging and feeding himself on their dark side energy and power. When Dramath, his birth father, confronted him, using his immeasurable dark side talent and innate dark side power, Vitiate, now Tenebrae, was able to sever his own father's connection to the Force, and imprisoned and encased his spirit for a millennia of torment under his rule. Eventually, the current reigning Dark Lord of the Sith, during the golden age of the Sith Marker Ragnos, recognized and acknowledged Tenebrae's immense dark side power, and christened him as the new Sith Lord, Lord Vitiate, the new ruler of Medras. Vitiate proceeded to rename the world Nathema and ruled it for the next century, distancing himself from the Sith power struggles. Following Naga Sadow's defeat in the Great Hyperspace War, he chose to distance himself. Vitiate lured the remaining Sith Lords to Nathema and, in an elaborate ritual stated to be the most complex and dark Sith ritual ever conducted by any Sith Lord, drained their life essence and that of the entire planet, increasing his powers and prolonging his life to the point of spiritual immortality. His powers at this point were greater than possibly any Sith in all of galactic history, and his mastery over the Force was certainly unopposed in all of the galactic timeline. Shedding his identity as Lord Vitiate, the self-proclaimed Sith Emperor led the scattered Sith survivors to Droman Castle and established a new Sith Empire. Droman Castle was one of the original Sith Holy Worlds, alongside Korriban, its brother, As the Emperor and Empire secretly expanded over the next millennia, the Emperor discovered the lost world of Zakul and the Eternal Fleet, an ancient armada with unmatched technology and technological advancements in science. Dissatisfied with the Sith ideology currently, the Emperor divided his consciousness into a Zakulian warrior under the guise of Valkorion, the immortal Emperor of Zakul, and created a vast civilization that came to be known as the Eternal Empire. The Emperor desired absolute immortality, to experience and expand his new creation across galaxies and realities. So he plotted to initiate a war between his own Sith Emperor and Empire and the Galactic Republic's regime. The deaths caused by the conflict will fuel a new ritual that would allow him to consume almost everything in the galaxy and become an perversion of the dark side of the Force and a Force god, more akin to that of Abeloth or the Sun than any other being and Sith Lord in all of Sith history. He would have exceeded the powers of the full potential Chosen One, the father of Mortis, Abeloth. He would have become the most powerful being, possibly in all of galactic history, even more powerful than the mighty Bendu, and on par with that of the Force priestesses. As the Emperor's plans neared completion, he orchestrated the Mandalorian Wars as a preliminary invasion and test of the Republic's strength, but two immeasurably and innately powerful Jedi Knights, known in galactic history as Revan and Malak, defeated the Mandalorians, including Mandalore the Ultimate, and tracked down his Sith Empire to Dromund Kaas. The Emperor effortlessly dominated their minds using his immense dark side control and ability, but the pair soon broke free from his control and betrayed him and each other in the resolute Jedi civil war that nearly decimated the Jedi Order. A redeemed Revan waged a mental war against the Emperor's power, delaying his great galactic war against the Republic by 3 centuries. The Sith Empire still nearly conquered the Republic in the end, but Revan further influenced Vitiate, using his immense mastery over the light and dark side of the Force. Distracted by the birth of his 3 children, to the Zakul Knight Senya Tirau, Arcan, Thexan, and Valen, to sue for peace instead, prompting a decade-long Treaty of Coruscant. As hostilities eventually and inevitably resumed, Dark Counselor Darth Barras lured the Emperor to the planet Vos, encasing and trapping him within the domain of the dark-side entity Sel Makor until he was rescued by the Second Emperor's wrath, taking over the job from Sith Lord Scourge, who had taken the job many centuries prior. Free, the Emperor attempted to initiate his galaxy-wide ritual, but an all-powerful Jedi Knight that came to be known as the Hero of Tython, also theorized to be the Outlander in some circles, thwarted his efforts and regime and destroyed his host body in a battle on Dromund Kaas. However, his immortality-fueled ritual that Nathema had conducted, he had done that ritual in order to sustain his spirit, and now it had paid off. His spirit endured. His wounded spirit and phantom went into slumber on the planet Yavin 4, the planet that Luke Skywalker would set up and establish his Jedi Order many thousands of years later upon, and also the planet that Exar Kun would sustain his life force on for many thousands of years. Until it returned, crazed and crazy Revan attempted to resurrect the weakened Emperor after his rebirth to a physical form to permanently decimate and destroy him, seeing it as his destiny and one true goal. Although Revan's plans were eventually foiled, the Emperor's spirit fed off the battle and reawakened, then struck against his former Sith Empire and consumed the planet Zyos to return to his full, unmatched dark side might and full power, still desiring to initiate the godlike ritual that would make him a Force entity, something beyond any Jedi or Sith could ever hope to be. Reassuming the visage of Valkorion, he revealed the Eternal Empire to the galaxy as his twin sons, both who possessed an extremely powerful connection to the Force that could even rival that of the twin children of Anakin Skywalker, Arcan and Thexan, invaded Imperial and Republic space, carving a path of destruction and taking the grip of the galaxy outside of both the Jedi and the Sith. They captured a famous champion that would later be known in galactic history as the Outlander, judging the Outlander alone among all beings in the galaxy to be a worthy adversary. Valkorion orchestrated his own death at the hands of Arcan, fueling on his anger, and embedded his consciousness within the Outlander's mind in order to travel the galaxy as a heroic refreer and rudicator of the Eternal Emperor, intending to become a heroic figure in the eyes of the galaxy rather than a tyrannical overlord of the Sith. Assisting in the Outlanders' immense power progression, Valkorion began to form and shape the Outlander into a vessel of supreme power as the champion defeated Arcane, capable of containing his immensely powerful Force, Lightning, and Essence. Then, the Outlander finished and completed killing his daughter, Valen, and disabled the entire Eternal Fleet. A fleet of extremely massive droids that were operated in sentience, and a fleet that was said to be grander than any that ever reigned over the galaxy. Valkorion sought to completely take over and dominate the champion's body and rule the galaxy as a heroic liberator, but in a final clash of wills and power, the Outlander and Valkorion's own family, Senya Tyrell, Valen, and Arcan and Thexan, banished the ancient entity into the void of space. Simultaneous with the expulsion, the former Emperor's Wrath, Scourge, and the Jedi Knight Kira Carson destroyed Tenebray's original body, dooming his spirit to chaos. However, the active released a final, desperate visage of his essence, imbued into his flesh centuries earlier, which soon took hold in the form of a plague of the Jedi Grand Master Satele Shan, a descendant of Bastila Shan and Darth Revan, and her Jedi followers, drawing off their memories and their immense power. The imprint slowly reformed itself into a duplicate of Tenebrae and threatened to use Shan as his new host. Many afterwards of history's greatest champions gathered in Satele Shan's mind, including the Outlander and Revan, two beings that Tenebrae had wronged so greatly over the years, and the souls of all those ever wronged and misjudged by Tenebrae joined together within Shan's mindscape and condemned into the spirit of chaos once and for all, destroying the dark side entity once and for all. Well, my friends, that was a complete, brief life of Tenebrae. Like I said, I'm going to be doing a grander and longer video revolving around this subject, and I'm sure that you will tune in for that if you're a die-hard lore expert. However, I mainly created this video as a way for the not-so-good Star Wars fans who don't have the time to watch an hour-long video to still immerse themselves in the knowledge of the dark side. With that out of the way, acolytes, ascend to the rank of Master and strike down the subscribe button. I'll see you in a galaxy far, far away.